Hello, Miss Brianna. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. I'm good. It's
Good.
I hope you're enjoying your week too.
I am. It's Friday. We're both in blue and we're here.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me on this call. I'm excited to interview you. These have been so satisfying and fun to do. I never thought this would be so fun. So thanks
hmm
for being willing to do it. I'm going to ask you some questions about the Gab Accelerator, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, great. Let's go.
Do you want to tell the people really quickly what you do and like what your business is?
Yeah, I am the CEO of Owen Your Mark. I'm a copywriter, a strategic copywriter for small businesses, service-based that I build email sequences that walk the customer journey to help customers go from like, I'm kind of curious and interested to like, take my money I want in. And so that's what I do for people.
Yeah, awesome. Well said. Okay, what was going on in your world and your business that made you even originally curious to work with me and made you want to work with me? What were you experiencing?
Yeah. Well, I didn't actually know that you existed um, yet. I didn't. I
We're
was
all working on that.
spiraling.
That's why we're here.
So I was in a place in a position where I could kind of feel my world spiraling. I knew that a shift, I knew that a pivot for my business was coming. I knew I needed something, but I really wasn't sure what. And I was willing to just kind of grasp any sort of straw as to like, will this help my business? Will that help my business? What is going on here? So I actually reached out to a friend that we both know and love and had told her like, hey, I'm thinking about joining this program over here. I know you've been through the program. I know that you've worked with this person. Like, I was basically inviting her to talk me in to paying for something, thinking that this small piece of the puzzle was going to be what I needed to help me go move into this pivot that was coming up. And when I talked to her, she was actually like, hold up, because while that program's great and all, based off of what I know about you and I know what's going on in your business, I actually think you need this thing over here instead. And that thing over there was Selly and the Gab Accelerator. And she's like, I get more working with Selly than I've done working with anybody else. And so I think if you're going to try anything, you should try Selly. And so from there, I went to a roundtable fully expecting to be sold to. And I was like, wait, I have questions because I got on a call with you and like I felt my whole system just like chill and like calm down and sink in. Um, and you made me feel like you knew what the path was. You knew what the path was and you could direct me. And it wasn't that I had to fit into your mold and into your system, but really that you were going to show me what the mold was for my business and you were going to walk me through that. Um, so I just felt calm and grounded and centered just in our like first conversation because I knew that you knew the way and that you could walk me through it and that it was going to be okay. And like I relaxed. I could breathe and I didn't like I wasn't full of this swirling chaos anymore. And that was worth all the dollars.
Mm, I love that. I love that the description of the swirling chaos, because I think a lot of my clients kind of are feeling some iteration of that, of like, where do I go? Which path do I choose? What
Mhm.
thing do I do? I need to fix this. You're also
And
the
you like
person.
walk into the eye of the storm with us. And then
Yeah,
you like calm down the storm.
yeah,
It's pretty magical.
yeah. Thank you. Thanks for saying that. For the record, for the people watching, I did write an email about you the other day and I didn't mention your name, but you are the person who called
Yeah.
me out and said,
Yeah.
you run this roundtable and it's always good and you don't sell us on your program. And I'm like,
hmm
isn't
Yeah.
that awesome? And you're like, why don't you
Yeah.
sell us? And I love that you said that. And I also And it's not because I'm scared of selling or don't like selling. I actually am very comfortable with it now. It's just that I love having a space where I get to play and challenge myself as a coach and challenge myself to do something different and sweat and get uncomfortable myself because I'm doing something I always try to do something new and test something new live in front of people. And so I'm really in that space of like
Mhm.
showing up for people in a way that I'm like, I'm not perfectly, this isn't the stuff I teach every day. This isn't what I do in my program. I'm not perfectly prim and proper and have slides for y'all. I'm trying something new. And I'm not really in the headspace a lot of time to sell, but I also kind of love that people get to come and experience me. Because my mentor said to me one day, he was like, the Selly in the room
Mhm.
is a 7-figure coach. And the Selly who tries to be in her content online is not. And so in my mind, I was like, oh, cool, just get people in the room with me then, and then let
Yep.
them decide. Because I think you're a smart person. And the truth is, you know how to book a call with me. You're a smart person. I don't
Mhm.
need to like stuff your down your throat, like come work with me or come into my program. You know how to book a call with me. You know how to ask questions. It's easy to reply to any of my emails or book a call with me. So, but I love that you called me out on that because I was like, I know, I don't do it. Um, can I also share more specificity on the situation that you're in? Because I didn't know this about you when we talked, but I learned this about you and your program when we got into your offer suite and your
Yeah.
pricing and your numbers and the plan. What I discovered about you was that what she means when she felt like she was swirling, kind of out of control and not knowing what to do, is that you actually knew there was one retainer client that would be ending, and there was
Mhm.
one other business that you had that would be ending. So what she meant by like this impending doom and fear and chaos and concern is because she actually knew her revenue was about to go down and she didn't exactly know what to do about it. Can I share that? Because the specificity, I
Yeah.
think, and I didn't know that about you until we got into it and we got into your offers. Because that day you
Mhm.
volunteered to be in the hot suite for
Mhm.
the offer
Yeah.
suite section. And you were like, oh
Yep.
yeah, that's going away and that's going away and that's going away. What do I do?
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, thank you for the heads up. All right, let's go. Let's roll up some sweet leaves and let's do it. So I think that
Well, and
specificity.
for a long time as I was growing my business or trying to grow my business, I knew I had those retainer clients, so I could put a bunch of things on the back burner because I had this work, I had these clients, and what I did for them was very different than what I was trying to do in my business. So it's not like I could say, I'll just replace them with people just like them, because that's not what I was doing or what I really wanted to be doing full time. And so I was like, I got to get my stuff together. I need to figure out what an offer looks like, and what pricing looks like. And like, I wanted to feel sure and confident about what I was offering, um, so that when inevitably I wasn't going to be for everyone, but what I was really wanting to avoid was this idea of nobody's biting, I've got to change everything. Like I didn't want that. And so I just wanted the assurance and like the guidance and the coaching that like, no, this is a solid offer. Just keep at it and your people, you will find your people. Like don't reinvent the wheel every time there's a small bump. Like that's what I wanted. And that's
Yeah,
what I got.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. For the record, it's not that I tell everybody just do the thing that you're passionate about and you're going to make money. I don't do that. For the
No.
record, Brianna happened to exhibit expertise in what she does just from the way that she gave me feedback on things I was doing or saying or writing, the way she participated in the group and shared in the chat. And the group program is very interactive and everyone is very active. So I gave you that strategic advice about your offers and what to lean into because I actually know you have this skill. You just had
Mhm.
maybe lost a little bit of the confidence in this skill because you'd been leaning on these retainer clients and these things in your life that were going to be going away. And I actually think it's
Yeah.
a really beautiful thing, because the truth is, this will always happen to us in business. Markets change, the economy changes, what your audience wants changes. Sometimes what you want changes, your capacity will change. What drives you this year may not drive you in 10 years, maybe. We do need to have the skill of, how do I develop a new offer? How do I price it? How do I plan it so that I am making the same revenue or more than I'm currently making? So it's not like
Mhm.
your scenario is a very real scenario that we all need to know how to navigate. That's why I wanted to specify that, because I think it was really important to your experience. Um, so what was your experience like actually in the program? Were you surprised? Did you have like aha moments in areas that you didn't expect? Was it like other programs you've done? What was your in program experience?
I wasn't entirely sure what to expect going into it. I think even ahead of time, I asked you a lot about like the tangibles of like, how much time do I need to block off, and what is there like a general outline of what we're going to be covering each day? Is there anything I need to do ahead of time? And I asked those questions because I knew that I really just wanted to be able to enjoy the moment and just absorb the moment and not worry about what was coming next. And so I love that you um I actually got a lot out of a 4-day intensive experience. Like it made it so that you really can't, and I know this is why you designed it, but you can't really get lost. You can't really like fall behind.
Yep.
And by doing it 3 or 4 hours at a time with bio breaks and snack breaks as needed, um, but you really are just like diving into it. And as somebody who likes to put on the blinders and likes to just sit down and focus and do the thing, I loved it. Like just technically, tangibly, like I loved being able to just, we're just going to look at this for a big chunk of time. I really enjoyed the group experience. There were so many different businesses and people at different places in their business that I got a ton out of being able to understand what was going on with other people's business. Um, there were some things where I feel like I had a lot of the individual pieces of information just in previous, like living a life as a business owner for so long. But you strung it together in such a beautiful way that all of those pieces started making sense when they were connected. Because so many people will try to silo them and they're not meant to be siloed. They're meant to flow together as one big ecosystem. And there was something about connecting all the pieces together that I was like, that it amplified every individual element. And I also appreciated like being able to tell, um, if these are all the elements of a business, especially that high level business, and you're only doing one of them, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you that there's one particular one or maybe two that you really like. Uh, but you can't ignore or abandon the other pieces. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to outsource? Are you going to systematize? Like, what are you going to do? Um, and so I loved that. And like, I don't know, it was like a peek behind the curtain. Like you didn't hold anything back. You didn't gatekeep any secrets. You were just like, no, this is how it all works. Everybody else wants to make it hard. And I'm trying to make it easy, which is actually hard because everybody else is telling you it's easy, but they're making it hard. And it's like,
So which is it?
yes, like you gave
You
us
keep
like the
selling me the
subtitles.
easy, yeah, you keep selling me the easy pill, but then what you actually show me or teach me is impossibly hard or confusing,
Yeah,
or I have to invest tons of more money or pay for more programs or throw a lot of money at ads. Like, is it easy or
yeah,
is it hard? Yeah,
right.
totally.
And then you come in and you're like, guys, it doesn't have to be that hard. It can actually be really easy. And then you present it in a way that is easy. And we're like, are you tricking us? Like,
Totally.
we've been conditioned by so many other people. But you take the time to like, and especially in those 4-day intensive, like you just drill it into us. Like it doesn't have to be hard. You can let it be simple. It's just these things. I will walk you through them. What questions do you have? I love that too, that we got you in person and it wasn't all these recorded videos. So that in real time, if we were like, this is tripping me up, you're like, great, let's talk about that. Let's take a look at what that means. So It was better than any other experience I've ever had, hands down.
Oh my God. Thank you. That makes me so happy. Not that you had the best experience ever. What makes me happy is that when you've been a teacher before, so you understand this. When you set out to do something with your teaching, there's like the teaching that's front facing, but behind the scenes, behind the curtain, there's actually something I'm really trying to do, right?
Hmm.
Which is what I'm trying to get you to realize is the way business works is business doesn't work in a silo. The way business works is that you understand that everything is a symptom of something else and all the pieces have to connect or at least talk to each other. And so the fact that you got that makes my little nerdy teacher heart
Hmm.
happy because I'm like, okay, it's okay. It's working. People are
Yeah.
getting, it's fine.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And
Because
then
if
we get
you
the,
understand that, then you can start, as much as I'd love you to need me forever, the truth is you can actually start to answer your own questions. And knowing this,
yeah.
any business you ever build in the future, you're going to build it faster. Like when I tell people I made 250K my first year of this business, they're like, what? And I'm like, no, but you gotta understand, I was challenging myself to put everything I know into play.
Hmm.
I know the pieces, so I know exactly what to do. I knew what to focus on. I knew what to ignore. Right.
Well,
And I'm
like
only
I've
in year
had,
2 of the business.
yeah. I mean, being a marketer before I niched down into copywriting specifically, there are people in my life who will start a new business and they'll come to me and they'll ask me for like, hey, what do I do with marketing? And I've got one particular person who's like, hey, I'm building a new business. This is what I'm doing. I've got my domain. I'm working on my logo now. And my response back to them was like, okay, what's your vision? And like, I don't know that I'd ever consciously have done that before, but I'm like, yeah, but
Where are
what
we
bus are you
going?
driving? Yeah. What's
What party
that
are we
going to
going
look
to? What's
like?
the destination? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I also enjoy that it's allowed, I see things differently now than before I sat through Gab. And I I think it's worth mentioning that while we learned so much of it in the moment, we still get the experience, we still get the access to you for, 4 weeks afterwards to really put it into play so that we are learning how to walk the walk and not just talk it out in those 4 days, right? Those 4 days are really safe and comfy because you're right there in front of us the whole time. What happens after that? What's this look like tangibly? How does this play out? What happens when we go talk to people? What happens when we keep working? And so we still get access as we are like learning how to implement this skill in real time and in real life for our business. And I think that's been huge too, because you weren't like, peace out, Girl Scout, bye, best of luck to you. It's like you really care about putting this into practice and putting this into motion and not just filling seats for 4 days. And that comes
Yeah.
out. That comes like we feel that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, I am one of the most obstinate, dedicated people to a goal, and I'm really resilient and hardworking and all the things. But I always think about like if a personal trainer came to me and gave me a new diet and a new workout plan, and it all made sense and it was all perfect, and I was like, oh, that's right, that's exactly what I have to do. I know what I have to do. But he or she was like, peace out, good luck. I wouldn't do
Mm-hmm.
it.
No,
And it's like the
no.
times in my life that I have paid marketers for a marketing plan because I've been like, I know how to strategize, I know how to make plans, but you know what? I want to get it from an expert. And they just give me a PDF of pages and pages and pages of what to do. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have to now somehow implement this 30-page document. That's not, that is not how we learn. That's not how we embody something. So I intentionally give you all the teachings in 4 days so you can't run away and you can't escape it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
the whole point of it is like, well, now you cannot unsee what you've seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point. Now, when you talk to your friends and they're like, I think I need to get an LLC first and a logo, and you go, what's your vision? where are we going
Mm-hmm.
with this, right? Because you can't
Mm-hmm.
unsee that, because I show you why that's so powerful and why that is a key pillar of your business. So that's why the 4 days are like, you cannot unsee any of this stuff. And now we take it to the gym. Now we go to the gym. Now we go and like get it in our body and start creating new muscle memory. So yeah, I love it. That's so fun that you got
And
it.
you,
It makes me
you you smack the food out of our hand, you know, and we're like, I need somebody to follow around and smack the cookie out of my hand. Like you do that. Like when we start coming at you with something and you're like, no, no, ma'am, we're not like that's a mindset issue, or that doesn't align strategically with what you're trying to do, or I'm sorry, excuse me, what are your prices? Like you you're there with us to smack the cookie out of our hand when we need it, to remind us of what our goal is,
Yep.
and to help us like build up that ability to do it for ourselves.
Yeah. I'm such a jerk. I know. I'm like, excuse me, wait, what was your vision again? What did you say?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's go do that. Let's build the vision. Because humans, we are so funny, right? We will say we
Yeah.
want a thing. It's like dating. Dating analogies are really easy. It's like, I want to date this kind of guy. Okay, then why do you keep saying yes to all the guys that are clearly, very clearly not that? It's not going to get you closer to that dream guy you've envisioned and manifested and journaled about
Mm-hmm.
and written all the things that all
Mm-hmm.
the attributes that he has. Like you've done all that magical manifesting work. Why do you keep saying yes to these guys? Right? We do this all the time as humans, and we expect that somehow in business it's like gonna work. So yes, I will come and slap the cookie out of your hand. That's hilarious.
It's good for us.
Um, that's I love that. We're gonna use that somewhere in content somewhere. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say is your ultimate takeaway or result from the experience? It's been a short time together, but what would you say? Where are you at right now?
I mean, I've been trying to think of a different term because it just sounds so cliche to be like, I'm more confident and sure. But I really do feel like I'm anchored and grounded. Like I know what to do. So when life starts lifing, or when things don't go the way that I said they would go on paper, I said that this was going to happen. Um, I I'm not gonna let like the winds change me or sway me. Like I know what I'm doing. Um, and that changes my whole outlook, or that changes my whole mindset. I said to somebody the other day, I was like, I'm not like worried. I'm not I'm not stressed out. And I know that I have been in the past. So is this a sign of growth, or am I just like in denial and I'm missing something? Because I feel good. And it's not because things are perfect. It's just because I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm headed. I know how to get there. So I don't feel the swirls. I don't feel the swirls of chaos right now.
Okay, that's amazing. Um, and because sometimes I have to remind people what they've done, because I
Yeah.
see your growth and your evolution in front of me for every person. So it's funny how sometimes I have to remind people, but you also, in a short 5 weeks, created a new offer, put out said
Mhm.
offer. I pushed you to email people and share about it, and you've already sold said offer and made money off of sold said offer.
Yes, that is all true too. Yep. So tangibly, it's working.
Yeah, okay. That's just
It is.
because, whenever I
Yes.
ask people, what is the result you got? They're always like, oh my God, I feel so confident. I feel so clear. I'm not stressed out. I'm
Yeah.
not overwhelmed. Can we talk about that?
Yes. Yes. That too. And I know that, and you pushed me to launch a beta offer that is priced higher than my current offering was, with the
So
projection to
for the
double it.
record, her beta offer is priced higher than her current offer. She's already sold the beta, and there's a laid out plan to double the price on that.
Yeah.
Therefore, replacing, remember that revenue we mentioned that she was going to for sure lose by, I think, June of this year?
Yeah. By the end of June.
Yeah. So in about a month and a half, she will lose certain revenue. And the goal was, well, let's make it back with other offers.
And the offers that it would take for me to replace the contract work will be less work. It will require less of my time. And I will be making more, the same, if not more money.
So
So
there is a money result at the end of the rainbow,
yes,
basically.
yes, yes. Well, before the chaos, I would shoot myself in the foot, right? Like I would stop myself from being able to make money for a lot of different reasons, but I would quickly give up. And so you've helped me calm that chaos as well as put a tangible solid offer in place that is working. Like both are making an impact.
That's awesome. I just love it. It just cracks me up because sometimes, I ask people to
Yeah.
make me
Yeah.
testimonial videos and they're like so sweet and wonderful and glowing testimonial videos. But I'm like, can you tell the people the monetary result, please? Because everyone's like
Yeah.
gushing. And I'm like, but thank you. It's so nice. But also like because people always ask me like, what am I going to get? What's my result? And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it's cool if my clients would actually talk about that. But I think I do
Yeah.
think it's a beautiful thing that happens to us when you feel transformed by something and something has been made easier, you feel differently. So you're talking from this new place and
Well,
and
because
it's not like, oh yeah, and the
yeah,
money. Yeah, that's cool too. Yeah.
yeah.
Because
Well,
you
I
feel
think
confident because of the money. The money is one aspect of it.
like the previous version of me, like before I had joined Gab CEO and I went through, or the Gab Accelerator, and I went through that program, I would have seen testimonials. And I've heard other people in the group say the same thing. They make more money working with you. They've launched a new offer. They've narrowed down what they offer, and they sell the same thing, and the price is just what the price is, and they're making more money on all of this. But before going through the program, my mindset, my narrative would have been like, that's true for them, but that's not true for me.
Mm.
And so I
Mm.
needed other stuff done before I could believe that it was also true for me. And so I needed the chaos to calm down before I could ever be in a place where I'm like, no, I can make more money too. I can do this
Yep.
too. I can be successful too. That's not just their story. It's a story I can own too. And going through the Gab Accelerator helped me to believe that story to be true for myself and not
Yes.
just for other people. And so now I get to live
Actually,
it out.
yes, that is another, thank you for reminding me, because the Brianna that came into this program was like, I don't really want to make more than this number. Remember? And you were very like,
Yeah.
I don't want a seven-figure business and I don't want any more. Like, I don't want any of that. I just want this number and I want this life. And it was interesting because one day in the program, you did actually call yourself out and go, I just realized I could make more money. And that was just a belief
Mm-hmm.
and a story that was operating me and keeping me small. And I was like, whoa, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And now
absolutely.
I'm like, the income that's in my vision is a stretch, but I also know it's doable, right? Like
Yep.
it's not one where I'm like, gosh, golly, could I? I don't know. I'm like, no, it's there. It's there. I'll do it. I'll get there.
Yeah.
And that's a complete, but I had to believe it to be willing to receive it, right? Like I wasn't before Gab Accelerator, I was not in a place where I could receive the abundance and the goodness.
Right.
And and I think it's by showing the tangible aspect of like, this is it. These are the 5 things of your business. This is what's in each of them. You need to have a vision. You need to know what your offers are. There's this gap you got to close because this is going to cause an issue down the road. And so let's just fix it now so it doesn't cause an issue down there. But I was like, oh, it really isn't as hard as everybody else wants you to think it is because
Yeah,
they make money when you believe it's hard.
exactly. Because they
So,
either they themselves don't know all the systems of growth and how simple it is, or I know a few people who do this, they know and they purposely gatekeep. So you keep buying program after program after program, and you think you need more and more and more to get ahead, and you don't.
no, Sally, you lay all of your cards out at the table at once and you go, I want you to win. I want you to succeed. And this is what it looks like, and this is what it takes.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I'll tell you a story because I just made a reel about it this morning in honor of my birthday that is coming up in a few days. I was just thinking about the first time that I was actually asked to grow someone else's business as a COO. The board looked at me. I was so happy. I was finally a COO, my dream job. And the board looked at me and they were like, cool. What are you planning to do for growth? How are you growing our company and our business? How are you growing the bottom line? And I was like, what? There's a founder, there's a CEO, there's like why me? Why is that put on me? I was like absolutely panicked. So I did what I do best. I went into research rabbit holes, talked to everyone, hired consultants, hired a CFO consultant to teach me like projection, like I did all this stuff. And at the end of my full research rabbit hole, what I discovered was I already knew the answer. I just thought I didn't, because there's something about certain industries in the world that makes it seem like it's harder than it is and it's more complex.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd paid all this money and spent all this time researching to see if there was like, is there something I don't know? Is there something here? Is there some, I mean, I'd already been running businesses for like 15 years by that point. So, and I had an MBA by that point, and I'd closed 7-figure deals in corporate sales. So I'd like already done a lot, right? It wasn't like I was a beginner by that point. But it was interesting to me that it even happened to me, where I was like, there's got to be something else. There's got to be something I don't, right? Because there's this gatekeeper kind of mentality that sometimes happens in certain industries. And then we just did it, and we created crazy celebrity product partnerships, content partnerships, and closed 7-figure deals. And I grew that business, and I was like, here you go. Right. So it makes me, I think about that a lot because I was so scared because I thought I didn't know. And I thought I couldn't figure it out because there was like, there's business rhetoric and there's people that talk a certain way. And so you always are like, there's something I don't know and there's something I'm missing. But actually, yeah, there are key systems of growth that you need to have in place and you need to understand, and you need to understand how they talk to each other and how they connect to each other. But then you got this.
Mm-hmm.
So yay. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Oh, final
Yeah.
question. As per Brittany's
Yeah.
instructions, our
Yeah.
resident case study writer.
Yes.
If somebody were interested in Gab Accelerator and they are on the
Mhm.
fence, what would you say to them?
I mean, if they were even a little bit considering it, I would say that's the answer. If, if it even a little bit feels like, man, could this be? Yes. Yes, 100% yes, it would be. So I would just say then there's your answer. It's a yes.
Okay. Well, awesome. There you go. There you have it. There's your answer.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there could be sub points to that, right? Like any sort of concerns you have, Sully's going to address. Whatever problem you bring her, you take it seriously and you go, great. If that's the thing you need, I'm gonna make sure, or you'll call us out and be like, I don't think that's the thing you need. I think this is the thing you need over here, actually. But either way, you'll take the concern seriously. You don't show up just to show up. You don't push people through the program just to push them through the program. Like there will be something at the end of it, and it will be worth it. And I think that looks different for every business owner based off of what they're going through. But if you are even questioning, like if there's even a little bit of you that's like, I'll be the one that's like talked into it, and I'll talk you into it. Because like that's the answer. Just go do it.
I'll give them your number and you can
Yep.
tell them.
Yep.
Awesome. Amazing.
Yeah. I'll be the hype girl. I'll be like, yes, do it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. And that also just makes me chuckle. I need your number so that I can start giving it out to people.
Will do. Will do.
Or you're
I'll
very
send you
good
my
on email.
Voxer.
Yeah,
That
you're
too.
very good on email, so I'll send them your email and then you'll be like,
That works. That works.
okay. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
your brilliant answers and for your time. I appreciate you.